with Karl Wells and Budgell.
Good evening. In Newfoundland and Labrador tonight.
Chasing the fish. Over-the-side buyers and fishermen flock to Labrador as the Newfoundland fishery collapses.
Getting into the busing business, school boards in Corner Brook think it's cheaper to own buses than to rent them.
And remembering the blast, residents of Stephenville pay their respects to the victims of the atom bomb.
Inshore fishermen all over the island have been dealt one of the worst seasons on record. A shortage of fish has meant little regular income and no chance at all of additional income from over-the-side sales to foreigners. As Debbie Collins reports, many fishermen are heading to Labrador, where the fish are more plentiful.
Over-the-side sales depend on one thing, a glut of fish. Too many fish for local plants to process. So buyers are brought in from the outside. Last year, 9 foreign vessels bought fish from several areas on the east coast of the island. This year, it's a different story, for 2 reasons. The Portuguese, who were probably the best customers, have been forbidden to enter Newfoundland waters since they were charged with overfishing on the Grand Banks earlier this year. And even if they were allowed, there's no fish to be had, at least not in the island.
If you could sum up what the inshore fishery has been like on the island here this year, what's it been like?
In the word, it's been terrible. Really terrible. Yeah.
How has that affected over-the-side sales?
Well, there hasn't been any need for any over-the-side sales, because there hasn't been any fish for them to take.
And how has that affected fishermen's income? How big a part of fishermen's income is that?
Last year, I guess for us, it was over-the-side sales were just a little under half of what we sold.
The Canadian Salt Fish Corporation made over-the-side sales contracts with 3 vessels back in June, 2 Canadian and 1 Russian vessel. Vessels that hung around the Avalon Peninsula for several weeks without buying a single fish. Bad news for them, and bad news for fishermen needing the extra money. Until the word last week from the Labrador coast that the fishermen there were swamped.
But in recent weeks, and even in recent days, there is a surplus of fish on the Labrador coast, in particular in the Black Tickle area. The plants in that area are not able to handle the catch that are being caught by the fishermen. So we've put these two Canadian vessels in place there. We also have contracted for a Russian vessel, and that one will be in place within the next couple of days.
Those vessels aren't the only ones following the fish. Inshore fishermen from all over the island are also heading to Labrador to cash in on the overflow there. Moyes says no one knows how long the glut will last, but both the fishermen and their over-the-side sales will continue as long as they can. It won't salvage this year's inshore fishery, but those able to make the trip will at least recover their own losses. Deborah